Ever feel like trying to find a good candidate for a job is like, I don't know, like searching for a needle in a haystack,
Yeah.
sifting through tons of resumes and hoping you don't miss someone amazing.
Yeah.
Well, get this. Today we're diving into the future of work. Like, literally, how AI is changing the game for companies looking for the best talent. And with us to help us understand all this is an expert from Profilytic, a company that's using AI to, well, to completely change how companies discover that talent.
Yeah, it's not just about making things faster. Although
Okay.
speed is it is a huge factor. I mean, imagine being able to go through thousands of resumes like instantly.
Wow.
It really is a totally different way to look at how we figure out someone's skills and potential.
Okay, now I'm really interested. So how does Profilytic, how does their AI even work? Does it just look for certain words like, I don't know, project management on a resume and that's it?
Well, that's what makes this so cool. Profilytic, it goes way beyond just matching keywords. Like their AI really digs deep, analyzing what the job description actually means and then looking at a candidate's experience to see if it's the right fit.
Okay, I'm not sure I'm following. Can you give me an example? What does analyzing like context even mean here?
Okay, so let's say you're trying to hire a senior software engineer.
Okay.
Profilytics AI can tell the difference between someone who, say, managed like little projects, maybe in a retail job or something, versus someone who really led big, complex software projects with a whole team of engineers. So it understands the little details of experience, not just checking boxes.
Wow, that's huge, especially for, I bet, people who have the right skills, but maybe they just haven't had the chance to show them off in a more traditional job.
Exactly. And because it's looking beyond just the basic stuff,
Yeah.
Profilytics AI can actually help make things, well, fairer
Yeah.
by focusing on skills and experience instead of things that might lead to, unfair discrimination.
So no more judging a book by its cover. Or I guess a candidate by their name or where they went to school.
Exactly. It makes things more equal for everyone.
Yeah.
And it helps build better teams, more diverse teams, and based on what people can actually do. And it's not just about fairness, it also means companies can find more talented people.
It's almost like discovering all this hidden talent.
Yeah.
People who just needed the right opportunity.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And this is where Profilytic really shines. I mean, how they work with those big job boards, like Google for Jobs and Bing Jobs.
Oh, so are you saying instead of like companies hoping candidates will just stumble upon their job postings, Profilytic is actually putting those jobs right in front of the people most likely to be interested?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. You're a company and you're trying to stand out, right?
Hmm.
There are tons of other companies hired, but by using these big platforms, Profilytic can help a company reach, well, way more people, and make sure that the right people are seeing those job opportunities.
And on the other side, for anyone out there looking for a new job, it's got to be awesome to have like a direct line to jobs they might never have even known about otherwise.
Right.
It seems like everyone wins. But I do have one question. With, all this data flying around, what about security? I mean, that's got to be a big deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about people's resumes, applications, all that. Security it's crucial.
Yeah.
Profilytic gets that. I mean, they built their whole system with security in mind. They take it very seriously.
So it's not just like they threw some AI at the problem and hoped for the best. They actually thought about like the ethical side of things, making sure people's data is safe.
Yeah, they use encryption, to protect data while it's being sent and while it's stored. Like, think of it as a digital vault.
Okay, that does make me feel better. But let's be real. Not every company out there is some giant tech company with tons of money.
Yeah.
So can smaller companies, can they actually use Profilytic? Or is it mostly for those big companies?
Well, that's the cool thing about how Profilytic designed everything. They made it what we call scalable, which basically means it can work for a company just starting out or, a huge company. It doesn't matter.
So whether you're a small business owner or, I don't know, in charge of hiring at some multinational company, Profilytic can help.
Right.
Okay, but I do have to ask, with all this talk about AI and jobs, are we all going to be replaced by robots soon? Like, are human recruiters going to be out of a job?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And Profilytic, well, they're very clear about this. It's a tool. It's not about replacing people. It's about helping people, making them better at their jobs.
So it's not like some, I don't know, battle between AI and humans. It's more like they can work together
That's the idea.
to make hiring better and faster.
Right. So think about it. The AI does the hard work first, going through those thousands of applications, and then it gives the really good ones to the human recruiters so they can focus on the things that AI can't do, like talking to the candidates, getting to know their personality.
Yeah, so it sounds like AI takes care of all that, objective data, like what skills someone has, what experience, while humans can come in and figure out the more, I don't know, the stuff that's harder to measure, like personality. Are they passionate about this?
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting, especially for anyone listening who's, looking for a job. If AI can do all this for companies, what if it could help the candidates too?
Like, are you saying AI could be like a career coach, helping people figure out what they're good at, what they need to work on, that kind of thing? So instead of just sending your resume out and hoping for the best, you'd have this like AI advisor giving you personalized tips. That would be incredible.
Right. Imagine getting feedback that says, hey, based on your skills, you might actually be a really good fit for data analysis, even if you never even thought about working in that field before.
Wow.
Or, I don't know, maybe it tells you, these are the top skills companies are looking for right now, so make sure you highlight those on your resume.
That's amazing. It's like having a crystal ball showing you not just what jobs are out there now, but
Yeah.
like what the future of work looks like.
Exactly. And that brings us to the bigger picture. I mean, if AI can change how we hire and get hired, what else could it do? What about, the actual work itself?
Okay, so we've talked about finding the right people for the job, but what about making sure those people, once they're hired, what about making sure they have the right skills? Would AI like help with training and stuff?
Totally. Imagine a platform that uses AI to figure out what skills a company is missing, and then it recommends training programs for the employees. It could even create these personalized career paths for people, showing them how to move up in the company.
That's that would be incredible. Like having your own, I don't know, personalized development plan. No more boring, useless training programs.
Right, and here's something else. This technology, it could help us predict what the job market will look like in the future. AI could look at all this data and say, "Hey, these industries are going to be huge. These skills are going to be in super high demand."
Wow. So instead of just reacting to changes, we could actually be prepared for them. That's amazing. So
Exactly.
if someone's listening to this right now and they're feeling, I don't know, a little overwhelmed, maybe even a little scared about all this AI stuff, what would you tell them?
I'd say don't be afraid of change. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us, all of us, to make sure we're using it the right way,
Yeah.
to create a better, more fair, more fulfilling way to work for everyone.
Well said. Well said. And you know what? I think that's a great place to wrap things up. This isn't about being scared of the future. It's about, well, it's about creating it and understanding how AI is changing how we work. That's the first step. So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI powered hiring. It's definitely a complicated and constantly changing world, but hopefully you've learned a thing or two about the amazing opportunities and yeah, even some of the challenges that are out there. Until next time, stay curious, everybody.